There are no positive indicators in the economy. I'll go through some things today and I will show you why that is the case. Now, if you look at the mainstream media, look at what the Federal Reserve tells you, it is quite the opposite. But of course, I will show you, I will talk to you about why that is the case. Let's take a look at this. In Yellen we trust is bond mantra as inflation dismissed. So here they are once again proposing that inflation is not at their target of 2%. They need to maintain this level of 2% in fear that a deflation will occur. This is a huge problem for them because they need to continuously print money, and of course they haven't printed enough, so they will continue to do so until they hit this magical 2%. Now, for those who don't know, this 2% number or this inflation calculation is made up of these false idea of what exactly inflation means. Now, to me, inflation, the most important things for inflation is, of course, this is your cost of living, so you're going to have food and energy. But of course, they leave that out of their calculation with intention, of course, and this would obviously benefit them because they can continue to print and they keep manipulating the numbers of what exactly core inflation is, and they're able to get away with this. Now, I'll go on very quickly. This is real. This is a real economic indicator. 1 in 4 Americans has no emergency savings. When you do not save and where there is risk, where there is fragility in the markets, it will collapse. And that's what so many economists have said. And here we are with 1 in 4 Americans having no emergency savings at all. So what will that do? Well, let's take a look here. Over the past 4 years, there have been little to no progress when it comes to American saving capacity. This is what many have talked about. I've talked about so many times before that without these savings here and another crash comes in, what are they going to do? They're going to have to go run to the government. The unemployment is going to expand once again. There's going to be mass increase in welfare. The food stamp program, which is already at 50 million, as I bring up consistently, is a huge problem and will become an extreme burden on the government, which will undoubtedly increase the deficit. The national debt will have to increase yet again. Here's another indicator. Nearly half of Detroit water customers can't pay their bill. Now, if that isn't alarming, I don't know what is. This is half of the people can't pay for something as simple as water. Let's go in right here where it says the average Detroit water bill is $75 per month, and it's higher than the nation's average of about 40. Now, they're paying more, it says. However, the fact that they wouldn't pay their bill for something so essential like water goes to show you how in such dire straits this city is. And this is just really the model of all cities to come, because they will basically offshore the jobs just as they've done in Detroit, and they will do this in all these cities. It's going to happen. It's been happening. They've been doing this successfully, and it will undoubtedly become a bigger and bigger burden as the middle class becomes a thing of the past. This is what I wrote about in my book, and this is the real issue. It's that if the Federal Reserve is the one generating real value, supposed real value, by this printing press, you're going to have nothing but this. You're going to have the $100 trillion bill. This is from my book. I had to use it because it is just so important, and it really describes the way that we're heading. It's the $100 trillion bill for the Bank of Zimbabwe, and this will undoubtedly be the route that the United States is heading onto. I hope that you guys, if you haven't already, you'll watch my interview I just did with SGT Report. You can go to his channel, or I'll put a link down below in the description. You could see this interview. We talked about so many different things: gold and silver, real assets, and really what's happening with the media and all the fraud. And I hope that you will become an insider. And to do that, you just go to themoneygps.com. At the bottom, you fill in your email address. And basically, this is the Money GPS Insiders, where I get to extend on that, which I've done in my book. And I can get the information out to people in these short, concise emails. And it is totally free. And I hope that you'll join the others on there.